Well,
You
hello,
you are
Mr.
the best judge.
Oh, say again.
You are the best judge to start.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you, Mr. Sanjoy, for helping with my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself, where you live, your work, and your hobbies?
Yeah, Nathan, I'm Sanjay Sachdev. I'm chairman of Love Commandos, a voluntary organization working all over India and even in certain other parts of the world to save lives of innocent and harmless young boys and girls in love from the dangers of killing and violence in the name of so-called honor. And well, when you are talking to people all over the world on this project of 2024 for countdown to moon, the world on one hand is progressing and reaching moon with people. People will be reaching. But on the other hand, you must have been reading that the countries in Indian subcontinent are facing this alarming problem of discrimination and violence in the name of so-called honor. Likewise, in US, we have recently seen the conflict between black and white. So it is very alarming that when the humanity, the humans on one hand are preparing to go to moon, it is very important for the world to know who will be the people that will be going. Will it be the same people who are filled up with discrimination of caste, color, and creed? Or will it be liberal people, moderate people who respect caste, creed, and colors of others? So it is very important. Will the human race be taking this? It is also a pandemic with them to moon, or will such people be going that would be flourishing humanity over there?
I think you raised a very good point, and I have another little twist I like to put on that same point, and that is for us to realize the opportunity that we have in this age to actually advance humanity beyond the earth into the rest of the space. Those challenges are so great that we can't afford to discriminate. We need every single brain, regardless of what body it's in, regardless of the gender of that body, or the color of that body, or the nationality that that body has a passport for. We need every brain to work on solving the problems and the challenges to move humanity out further. And I was wondering what you thought of that viewpoint.
Definitely, what you said is correct. What I feel, there are two basic needs of the humanity all over the world now: love and peace. Peace and love, and both are coexisting. Because when we are saying that the humans will go to moon and will continue to go, then the world needs resources for that. And for resources, now the present day economic scenario, the world economy, the plannings of the governments all over the world are war oriented. Huge expenditure are being made for preparation of war, for arms and ammunition. If there is love, if there is peace, if there is no place for hatred on the earth, if it is love beyond borders, then this money which is being spent for warfare will be there for welfare. The same money can be used for Mission Moon. The same money can be used for more development of the society. The same money can be used for various other things. Even word over, the tax system is getting money from people. For what? For preparing wars. Innocent and harmless people who don't have anything to do with war, who hate war, who want peace on the earth, are shelling money out of their bounties in the name of tax to the respective governments to be spent for wars. But once it is love everywhere, once it is peace everywhere, once there is no room for hatred everywhere, once it is love beyond boundaries, then taxation will be less, development will be more. People will be lesser burdened with taxes and will enjoy the benefits of development, including expeditions to moon, attempts to reach moon. We have been hearing from our childhood about moon expeditions, starting from Neil Armstrong and many more people. But as of now, it is very good, beautiful to know of the initiative that you have started. But at the same time, the initiative needs a global discussion on this subject to save resources for countdown to moon. That resources will be development oriented and it can bring an other brotherhood with possible population or inhabitation on moon, which we are not sure as of now what is the scenario because there are different contradicting reports.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we spend more money learning how to destroy all of humanity than we do in terms of pushing the boundaries of humanity beyond Earth and helping people live in harmony. Now, what do you think are the causes? Like, what are the challenges that we have to overcome in order to create that worldwide brother and sisterhood that you were talking about?
The first thing is we all are a human race, but the governments have been from the past ages been creating borders. When we are creatures on this earth, where is the need of the borders? These are all artificial, human-drawn borders. But humanity is beyond borders. When we talk of word brotherhood and sisterhood, that means we need to overcome this problem of borders. Borders created by the countries, borders created by races, borders created by color, borders created by creed. And it should be only one earth that is for humans and one religion that is humanity. Everyone can have one's own faith, there is no issue, but it should not be attempting to dominate others. We must respect faith of others, but at the same time, we must understand now in this global technology, when new technologies have come, and you can see each other, speak to each other, can share these things on social networks. The technology may move further. The technology has benefits, but at the same time, similar technologies are being used for warfare also. So the same word should decide. Say no to wars. Say no to violence. The violence-free world. And when we will have people in 2024 who are totally away from violence, who are totally away from caste, color, creed, discrimination, and like that, we will be going to moon with a very, very, very positive message of humanity. That not only moon, then it can be Mars also. We can move further with the same message. But as of now, we the human beings are somewhere struck up in these discriminations, with our hearts or minds struck up in the name of caste, in the name of religion, in the name of color. We need to come out, and only human population can do it.
I
No superpower can do.
I heard one of the people that I interviewed, he pointed out that our technology has advanced so much faster and further than our culture, that our culture hasn't advanced as fast as our technology. And in fact, in some ways, maybe our culture has kind of declined somewhat.
I said, we need technology. It is very good. But technology should be humanity based. Technology should be for development of peace and love on this universe. Because only love can bring peace. That's why we are here. Now in India, when we are having this organization, Love Commandos, we are facing many challenges every day. There are threats to our lives. We are always short of resources. We are requesting people around the world to come forward and contribute or donate for the cause of Mission Love. Because when love shall triumph, there shall be peace everywhere. When there shall be peace, there shall be prosperity. And when people, humanity with prosperity would be going to moon, just imagine what a beautiful image, a scene, a message that would be creating.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like we have many challenges. And one of the challenges we have is fear. There's a lot of people who believe that there's a limited resources on the earth and that there is a problem with too many people here on the earth. And I think to some extent that fear by all people who have this fear, even well-meaning people, give space for discrimination because it allows for one group to try to bond together against other groups, to try to make sure that they don't have trouble with this scarcity. And I was wondering if you thought that was a major motivation behind discrimination and war and what governments do, or do you see something that maybe even is more of a reason that we have this problem?
When I was a school going child, my father or my grandfather told me a story of a Christian that before you sleep, please see that your neighbor is not hungry. That was the basic human need. But When we talk of religion, various religions, could we overcome that situation today? Could every creature on the earth just ensure that the neighbor is not hungry, neighbor is not thirsty? If it continues with this big chain, that is the motivation that is needed. Religion, be it Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Buddha, Jain, Parsi, Jews, or many other religions world over. Every religion preaches brotherhood, and then people are fighting. They learn brotherhood, but are fighting to save the religion which preaches brotherhood. What a mockery!
I completely agree.
We all need to come out of it and have to think that the earth is ours. Until unless each and every person on the earth feels, yes, it is my earth, I owe a duty to this earth to bring peace and love on it, the progress will be meaningless. And the day people start, there will be tremendous progress, because then there will be no room for wars or hate or hatred.
And, I think you mentioned a key point.
Can I continue with my cup of tea?
Yes, please.
Because it is too early in India and it is tea time, I believe.
I understand. Please enjoy.
Thank you.
So let's see. I think you pointed out a very good point. I mean, all your points are very good, but one point you pointed out is this concept of ownership, that this earth belongs to us, that we're responsible for what happens to it, and that we need to go out there and make the changes necessary to make it better. And you and your fellow colleagues over there at Love Commandos have taken a step to help address one of these issues, which I think is fantastic. I was wondering if maybe you could talk about sort of more about your work and exactly how it works from a day-to-day perspective.
Welcome. Please keep asking. I'm open to answer every question.
Okay, so what type of people do you help? I mean, like, how do they find you? How do they find out about you? That type of thing.
Our details are on internet, and I said the technology has plus and minus both. So there are people who find us, who seek help from us from the internet, through our helpline, through email. And there are people who threaten us of dire consequences, of killings. But the mission never stops. We become more stronger with allegations. We become more stronger with attacks and attempts. But people find us. As you said, who are the people? They include poor, middle class, rich, agriculturists, technocrats, educationists, even armed officers from armed forces or police. Even they are worried about their own love stories. We had to help many. Beg, borrow, or steal, we are helping. We are always under threat and distress. We are always under loans, but we love helping people. Because we believe that as human beings, it is our duty to help nature. Love is nature. Nature is love.
And
if I was in your country, I may not have been needed. because their marriage by choice is common or rather mandatory type of.
I know,
Here,
maybe there's too much choice.
yeah, too much. And here, it is marriage by arrangement. Parents or others arranging a marriage. What do it mean? Has the boy or girl got no right? Are they properties? We are facing ire from fundamentalists. We are facing ire from communal elements. We are facing ire from such business powers that get affected. Because if so-called marriages by arrangement continue, then they have big shops to sell big things in the
Right.
name of dowry. So we have many challenges. We work on it. Every case has a different story, different history, different scenario. And in every case, we have to take a different decision how to help. But I'm proud that our core team, that includes Mr. Harsh Malhotra, Rajesh, Sonu Rangi, Govinda, Sunil Sagar, and many others. And then our volunteer force all over India are making us work. We may be killed someday by any so-called religious, fundamental, casteist, militant or extremist. But we have set the bell ringing. Now the world is talking about love in India. India has always given message of love to the world. Entire world, love, peace and brotherhood. But what is the practical scenario? That the world knows.
Yeah, I think we were also talking about governments and borders and how they were artificial and created by governments. I think that's one thing, that seeing the Earth from the orbit of the moon. I mean, you see the Earth is so small, you can't even make out the different places clearly, and you realize that we really are all on this one little small Earth together. And the people that have traveled to the moon, there's only been a handful of them, have talked about how they see this, how fragile and common, or how fragile, small, and finite the Earth is. And I was just wondering if maybe the biggest thing we could get from space is just this perspective of really the true nature of our existence inside of the solar system and inside of the universe, how minuscule we really are. And do you think that has the hope of maybe helping people bond together and being able to overcome really, really small differences?
What I see, that every human creature here sees this earth with artificial boundaries. This is America, this is England, this is Canada, this is India, this is Pakistan, so and so. And when we talk of Earth, moon, we see it only as one single moon. There are no boundaries. Moon is not small. From here we see the moon is small. From there we see the Earth is small. But moon is single. There are no, as of now, I have never heard that there are boundaries in the name of countries. So it is a message that the nature wants love beyond boundaries, humanity beyond boundaries. the boundaries must be made irrelevant. Like there are no boundaries on moon, the earth should also abolish these boundaries, because all boundaries need too much of war equipment. But when there are no boundaries, then it will be only love boundaries. Love, 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 and love everywhere. This is a message from moon. 2024, people will be going to moon to find for themselves that moon has no boundaries in the name of color, creed, religion, discrimination, nations, and so on. So why not implement that message on this earth? It is your duty, it is my duty, it is everybody's duty on this universe. Let us all unite and come forward. Definitely, the message of love that we are spreading, we need help from you and other believers of love. But moon is always giving a message of love. Many stories, love stories, have angles of moon. Love songs have angles of moon. When we talk of moon, when we intend to go to moon, we must remember, while in Rome, do as the Romans do. So while planning to go to moon, the humans on this earth must try, must do what the moon does. That is love, spread peace, and abolish boundaries.
And, you know, not all countries have the same view in terms of freedom and responsibility and things like that. You know, some countries control the information that their people can have access to. Some countries prefer one religion over another religion. Some countries are, you know, prefer one race over another race, and you have all these differences. And those countries, just like the arranged marriage industry that you're talking about, are actively continuing to promote their ideas and the you know the reason that they exist. This is a very big force to fight against. What can be done?
I fully agree. But at the same time, I remember what is America today, it was not 100 years ago. The mindset was different. What is India today, it was not 100 years ago. What is Pakistan today, it was not 70 years ago. There are some changes. And changes have to be from the heart of people. When the residents of these countries will decide with their heart to promote love, then the governments will become irrelevant. How much oppression can the governments continue? Then there is world body, there are people on the earth. But there has to be a beginning. Until unless we start, we should not reach conclusion of failures or results. We have not started. And we are concluding certain countries like that this if but provided will continue to create hindrances. But once the humanity decides, once the human generation decides to make these boundaries irrelevant, then can anybody stop? If we read older stories, people from other parts of the world, used to raid other parts of the world reach there. At the same time, people from other parts of the world used to go for doing business. So war and business are both continuing. Even the countries that limit access are doing business. Even the countries that give preference to religion A over religion B are doing business. Be it with India, be it with America, be it with Canada, or be it with anybody else. Once the human race decides, then scenario will start changing.
That's very true. I like to think though, I mean, one challenge we have is that every generation is born ignorant and completely unskilled, and they don't know anything. And essentially they're taught what's good, what's bad, what to like, what not to like, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. And they're not necessarily taught on a formal basis, just based upon their experience. I mean, I guess how do we, and then so much like in America, for example, kids are really taught just to want, not necessarily to go out there and change the world in a positive way. But how do we maybe put things in place that help to kind of provide that broader perspective at an earlier age?
When humanity decides that we need something broader, it will develop the way. There need to be a conviction to do something. It is human nature when one feels that we need to do something. Now in this pandemic, we got this technology to talk over in this system because we needed it. Likewise, when the human race will think, will decide to move for a love beyond boundaries, for peace on the earth, then things can be created, things will be created. The same human who created arms, who created ammunition, the same human will create instruments of love and peace, ways of love and peace, ways of development, ways of prosperity. Because it is human nature. Only the rulers have been creating circumstances that create warfare. Once they become irrelevant and humans become relevant, the things will change. The things will take its own course, its own shape.
And
we need a commitment.
Maybe you had a good point about it might be easier to do that. And maybe this wasn't the point you're making, but maybe this is a point to consider. Maybe it's easier to come up with that humanity-centric viewpoint with a smaller set of people that are freed from the physical environment of the rest of humanity. There's a guy in the United States, Elon Musk, that has this rocket company called SpaceX. And he says his mission is to create a 1 million-person city on Mars that can be self-sustaining by 2050. And maybe, you see that humanity-centric vision kind of created a smaller group of people, and then they become a model to sort of re-educate and re-inspire people back here on Earth about how we could live together and work together.
Yes, I agree. But Elon Musk should become more broader, more reachable, so that he can interact with the poorest of the poor and richest of the rich. He is only within the reach of a few riches. But I think I have read about him, the love he has for wife or child that speaks of a heart within. Hope you can help us reach him. Somebody else who is viewing on your social network can help us. Or other
And
people on the earth who have similar thoughts can make an attempt to come together. When United Nations was formed, nobody thought it would be that much important, become that much important. Today it is. When many countries united and made United States of America, who thought it would be possible? When British invaded India and kept on conquering almost 1,000 kingdoms, who thought it was possible?
Hmm.
If that war, if that forcing of government was possible, then creating earth beyond borders, love beyond borders is also possible. The only thing is you must have a head and conviction. Continue motivating people. It is not sure that you will be able to motivate 1,000 crore people in a day. You can motivate one. The chain must go on, and the chain will create a revolution, love revolution, which I have been saying. Love revolution is in the air because it is love that will bring peace and prosperity to the human race, to the humanity. And when we talk of moon, it is more important. And I hope you help us take this message everywhere where it needs to go.
it is definitely a message that resonates with me and I agree with. I think, though, a lot of people use the term love, and maybe they have different thoughts on what it means. I was wondering, what does it mean to you?
Love is an eternal feeling. There is a difference between love and lust. In today's commercial world, people feel that lust is love. No, lust is not love. So there is a very minute line dividing both. But love is a commitment. Love is sacrifice. Love is a thought. Love is a feeling. It is not possible for any human being to explain love in words.
Yeah, it's a challenging topic for sure. I think I heard one definition. Love is when somebody else, when your own happiness depends upon somebody else.
That's what I said, sacrifice. I use this almost same thing.
Now, uh, that's a very positive image of humanity. So I guess over the course of what time do you think we would actually be able to make significant steps towards that vision of pulling humanity together? Is it a matter of like the European Union becoming, open borders, and these countries that had been at war for thousands of years kind of putting aside their differences and creating a common market, and then kind of seeing a similar type of thing happen in Asia and maybe in South America and other places? Or, I mean, what are sort of the things you would be looking for in terms of seeing the results of seeing this vision embraced by more and more people?
Yes, European Union is a good beginning. Unification of two Germanys was also a good beginning. The process of unification, the process of removal of borders should continue. It should not stop. Whether it is America, Latin America, Asian countries, or any other place, it will take time. Now, European Union has open borders. But due to this pandemic, there were again some troubles. Again, it has started opening. The world should learn from this pandemic that Earth is one. COVID-19 attacked everywhere. It didn't see whether it is Korea or whether it is India. It didn't see whether it is a black man or a white man, whether it is a Hindu or a Muslim. The humanity must learn that if the pandemic does not discriminate between people, why are you doing it?
Exactly.
What you said, European Union, I fully agree. It is a big example, and there can be more examples. The process should continue. It should not stop.
Now, one thing that keeps people separated is language. If people can't talk to each other, then they can't communicate, and they can't seek to understand other than on the most basic level. How do we overcome the problem of language?
See, there are a number of languages. Even if you talk in English, there are various forms of English. If we talk of Hindi, there are various forms of Hindi. Once the human race decides to break these artificial borders, then it will evolve something in the name of language. The language of eyes, face language, body language, these are there. And people understand from it. There can be development on it also. There should be. The attempts must continue.
And also with our computer technology, it's becoming less and less of an issue with the automatic translation.
Yeah. Translation tools are coming, Google Translator or others. As I said that with the technology, new things are coming up. In this pandemic, the new technologies came more. People are stuck up in their homes and creating technology. We must learn. Humanity is being taught a lesson by nature. Humans of the world, you should unite. You should stand with nature. Otherwise, there will be more pandemics.
And
If
this
you
is
want to save human race, abolish borders. Humans like the moon.
a small lesson. I mean, like, it's disruptive from commerce perspective, but it wasn't as disastrous as, you know, an asteroid hitting the world and causing massive dying of crops and what have you. And so, you know, if we've this is a practice catastrophe compared to some catastrophes we might have in the future.
Human race has learned at every step in the life. When the inventions were made, because there was need. Starting from a match or lighting stick to a rocket. Humans created everything out of need, out of requirement. And now
And
humans can create things out of need, out of requirement to abolish borders, to promote love. Yes, at the same time, I request you to come forward and help Mission Love by donating for the cause. You can visit www.lovecommandos.org, find a PayPal button over there, use it as per your choice. Others, listen.
something happened to your audio.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hi. Yes, I
Yeah,
can
there
hear
was
you.
a regular call that disrupted from my colleague because I had told him that it will be a 30-minute plus meeting, but I think it has taken long. We have been discussing, we both are enjoying it rather.
I understand. Should we wrap it up, or did you have some more time?
No, I think we should keep it another day because
Okay.
my colleague, my chief coordinator, Harsh Malhotra, is calling from the other line. There may be an emergency for any lover or anything like that. For us,
I
mission love is more important.
I understand. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck with your mission. And I fully support the work y'all do.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye.